Try the other button.
The Complete Creation video series is just that.
No, not that one.
An exhaustive look at the science.
Turn Mr. Frog into Mr. Frog Soup.
No, you're out of
We
that.
have just taken a...
There. I think that's got it. Hi there. Good to see you. Just like many of you, I'm on social media, especially on Facebook and YouTube. Lately I've been seeing many memes and statements about Christianity that didn't jive with what I knew about Christianity. So I started to wonder what it really meant to be a Christian, and I also wondered if other people were wondering. Well, Ian Juby left his door unlocked, so he snuck into his studio to bring you this first in a series of videos about what it means to be a Christian. I mean, have you ever seen the actions of something called a Christian church and wondered if that was what Christians believe? Or have you seen a politician claim to be a Christian and wondered if they were representative of what being Christian meant? Or have you heard about a sports hero or a celebrity thanking God and wondered if that is what Christians thought like? Or perhaps you have heard about a historic action taken by Christians and wondered if that was what Christians supported. I invite you to join me over the next several weeks as we try to cut through the spin and the hype and figure out what it means to be a Christian and where Christianity comes from. We'll use the dictionary, history books, and logic to try and develop some sort of standard to judge the reports we might see on TV, hear on the radio, or see on social media. We're even going to define a difference between the religion of Christianity and individuals who are Christian. Who am I, and why do I care? I'm Rod Nogler, and I'm a Christian. Welcome back. Christianity is a huge topic. I've seen many different ways of tackling Christianity done by many groups of people much better educated than I am. Theologians, professors, doctors, historians, etc. have all presented their ideas and summaries of what it means to be a Christian. One of the better ones I've heard is called the Theology Program from Bible.org. I highly recommend it if you want to follow the development of the current church through history after 70 AD. There might even be another series like this that I haven't seen. However, I wanted to take a different tact. So where should we start? Those who know me know that I am a lover of words. Words to me are powerful because they can pack a large amount of meaning and history into a small number of syllables. In order to understand what something is, I like to start with the word or words that describe it. In this case, the word is Christian. Christian is a compound word. It is formed from two pieces, Christ and Ian. Let's leave off the first section, Christ, and look at the second part, Ian, first. The suffix Ian has two main meanings. Number one, of or belonging to, like American or Floridian, and two, characteristic of or resembling, like Mozartian. From this we can see that the word Christian means someone or something that belongs to Christ, or is characteristic of or resembles Christ. This is a good place to start because it tells us that someone who claims to be Christian should resemble Christ. But what is Christ? Christ is a transliterated word, which means that it has been borrowed from one language and brought into another, basically unchanged. In this case, it was brought into English. The definition of Christ is Messiah. It originates from Middle English Christ, which comes from the Old English, which was brought from Latin Christus, which came from the Greek Christos. Literally it means anointed, from Karen. This doesn't tell us much. Christ is just a term that means the same thing as Messiah. In order to understand Christ, we need to know what the word Messiah means, and it comes from another language, Hebrew. It comes through Judaism, a king who will be sent by God to save the Jews. The origin of Messiah is Hebrew. It literally means anointed. So, although we talk about a Messiah, in our modern tongue, the original word could also refer to a single individual who would be sent by God to save the Jews. So, let's combine what we have so far. A Christian is a follower of, and who is in the form of or resembles, the king, sent by God to rescue the Jews. Well, why would people who aren't Jewish follow a king who was sent to rescue Jewish people? And why did the Jews need to be rescued anyway? To get the answer to this, we need to delve into the Jewish religion and their history. These two topics are intertwined for Jews. Their history book is a religious text that describes the beginning of all existence. Sometimes referred to as the Law and the Prophets, it generally consists of the Christian biblical Old Testament. They also have the Talmud, which is a more detailed set of laws dealing with specific parts of the original law, or Torah. The Torah is the first 5 books of the Christian Bible. The first of these 5 books, Genesis, describes the creation of the universe by God in a period of 7 days. I want to read the first 3 verses of Genesis 2 in the English Standard Version. It says, "Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day God finished his work that he had done, and he rested on the 7th day from all his work that he had done. So God blessed the 7th day, and made it holy, because on it God rested from all his work that he had done in creation." And continuing on to chapter 3. "Now the serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field that the Lord God had made. He said to the woman, 'Did God actually say, you shall not eat of the tree in the garden?' And the woman said to the serpent, 'We may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but God said, you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die.' But the serpent said to the woman, 'You will not surely die. For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil.' So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. And she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves loincloths. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. The Lord God called to the man and said, 'Where are you?' And he said, 'I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid, because I was naked, and I hid myself.' He said, 'Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?' The man said, 'The woman whom you gave me to be with me, she gave me of the fruit of the tree, and I ate.' Then the Lord said to the woman, 'What is this that you have done?' The woman said, 'The serpent deceived me, and I ate.' The Lord God said to the serpent, 'Because you have done this, cursed are you above all livestock, and above all the beasts of the field. On your belly you shall go, and dust you shall eat all the days of your life. I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel.' To the woman he said, 'I will surely multiply your pain in childbearing. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you.' And to Adam he said, 'Because you have listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree which I commanded you, you shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground because of you. In pain you shall eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the plants of the field. By the sweat of your face you shall eat bread, till you return to the ground. For out of it you were taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return.' The man called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And the Lord God made for Adam and his wife garments of skins, and clothed them. Then the Lord God said, 'Behold, the man has become like one of us in knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand, and take also of the tree of life and eat, and live forever.' Therefore the Lord God sent him out from the garden of Eden to work the ground from which he was taken. He drove out the man, and at the east of the garden of Eden he placed the cherubim, and a flaming sword that turned every way to guard the way of to the tree of life." So why would this part of the story lead to the idea of a Messiah? Well, it comes from the last part of the curse on the serpent in verse 15. "I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." From this comes the idea that the child of the womb will, someday, defeat the evil of the world and restore what was broken. This event, often called the fall of man by Christians, is one of the core doctrines. It is often known as original sin. It is the idea that this one choice by Adam is what caused sin to enter the world and create the need for a Messiah for all humans. Next week, we'll explore the other prophecies about this Messiah that the Jews were looking for. I welcome comments and questions. You can find me on YouTube or Facebook. Just search for I'm a Christian. While I might not respond to every comment or question, I do read them all, and I'll even answer some of them in next week's video. Until then, I will be praying that you can leave aside your prejudices and open your hearts and minds to see what Christianity is all about. I'm Rod Nogler, and I'm a Christian.
Hey, he's got bacon and yogurt drinks.
We're here to record the show, not to raid his fridge.